Hey everyone, I'm back from Malta and I've been getting a question from folks more often, and I felt really strongly I needed to make a video about it and share with you what's been coming through in my meditations around this topic of thriving when not everyone in the world is thriving. So there's been a lot of stir up around this, and I just felt really strongly today like I have to make a video on this and address this because this question keeps coming up. So I'm going to share with you my perspective that I've accessed through my connection to higher consciousness. If it resonates with you, awesome. That means we may want to work together in some way. If it doesn't resonate with you, no worries. There are a lot of spiritual uplifters out there that may resonate more fully for you. So I'm going to share with you what's coming up for me and what's coming up as clients are asking about this and different people in my sphere kind of bringing this in. And I'm really hoping that it will inspire you in the way that it's inspired me to thrive and live more abundantly than ever before. So here's the question that keeps coming in. The question is, how do I feel okay with thriving when there are people in other parts of the world that are starving or aren't even able to eat or have money? So this is a really powerful question, and I believe a tremendous opportunity for those of us that are living in the Western world. I've talked about this a little bit in my healing circles lately because, again, it's been coming up more and more. But one of my favorite teachers, Abraham-Hicks, you can find them at abraham-hicks.com, Hicks.com, talks about this, and what they often say is we can't suffer enough for someone else to thrive. So I want to illustrate that point because in my meditation today it came in really strongly, a really great way of presenting this so that in a way that we can get this. So I really feel like you're going to hear what I'm about to share. So let's say you have a friend or someone you love very dearly who gets very sick, they're terminally ill. Would it help them or be helpful to them if you also got sick, if you also became terminally ill? How would that be supportive of them? So when we think about that, right, like someone I love is sick, how do I help them? Oh wait, I need to get just as sick as they are to help them. Well, we know that doesn't actually work, right? When someone we love is sick and we're in a state of thriving, we're able to support them because we're in a stronger space, right? So we can support them with our energy, with our money, with our words, with our love. The same is true in this instance as well, that there will always be people who thrive and there will always be people who aren't. But I believe that that disparity can get smaller and smaller, and that eventually human consciousness will be in a place where all of us are able to thrive. And that's really the path that we're on right now. So what are the ways that we can support others who aren't thriving, who might be living in poverty? We know poverty consciousness is very, very active in the Western world, or at least specifically in the United States. I can speak to that. It seems like I'm getting more and more Canadians in my groups and working with me. So I think maybe in North America, we have this really strong poverty consciousness that says like, I need to work really hard for my money and toil, and I shouldn't be able to, I can be successful, but not too successful. Some of us won't even allow ourselves to be successful at all. But other people in the world are living in poverty. So what can we do to support them? What's the answer to that? Can we get sick enough or poor enough to make their suffering go away? Well, the answer to that is no, absolutely not. The more poor we are, we can do nothing to help their poverty either. So here are some ways that we can actually help others who are living in poverty. One of those ways is to donate money or funds through an organization that supplies support and resources there. Now I know often we find out there's corruption around that, the money that I'm delivering isn't really going to the right people, or like I found out I was sponsoring children in another part of the world and then found out that part of the whole deal that this organization did was like make them read Christian literature, and I just pulled my money from that. That's not going to work. But that is an avenue for us, right? Like we can go on missions, right, with other community groups and help certain areas. We can donate money through trusted sources that can deliver support there. The other thing we can do is we can empower. So not just give, but we can empower individuals who are living in impoverished areas. One of the best ways I feel to do this is through microcredit lending. So I'm a huge fan of Kiva. I have an online lending team with them if you want to donate through Kiva as well. And they give loans to those who are in impoverished nations to allow them to build up their businesses so that they can build up their communities and really learn to thrive and experience thriving. So not just, okay, we're giving you handouts and then when we're gone you don't have anything, but we're actually giving you a means and a tool so that you can grow your life and your community and your family, and you can really begin that process of thriving that is your inherent well-being. So you can do microcredit lending either through Kiva or support that in other ways. The third way, and the biggest opportunity that I feel like we all have, is through energy. So to illustrate, energy has a ripple effect. So for instance, I've had a lot of people experience healing just from listening to or watching my videos, or having an email exchange with me, or even just communicating with me in some way. People will say, oh my God, I feel so much better. Like this whole thing just shifted. Or as soon as I sent you this email, this thing that I needed came in, right? So I've been able, through body talk and just through doing this work, have been able to support hundreds of people in shifting their lives into a higher frequency. It's pretty cool, right? But guess what? I'm one person and I'm affecting hundreds of people. So imagine those hundreds of people are going back into their life. They're now in a higher vibration. They're then affecting upwards of hundreds of people, right? And we have the ripple effect because everything is energy. And so we have a tremendous opportunity to impact everyone we come into contact by where our consciousness is and where our vibration is. So at the same token, we have an opportunity to thrive like never before. And when we're in our abundance and we're living abundantly and feeling the power of that self-responsibility, right? We've taken responsibility for our lives and we've said, I'm not going to be prone to victim consciousness or poverty consciousness. I'm going to do everything in my power to thrive. When we do that, everyone around us is impacted. People can meet us on the street and it can shift their whole field, right? And imagine that ripple effect. And they see someone and that shifts it. I really feel that those of us in the Western world, have a responsibility to thrive. We have a responsibility to let go of our poverty and victim consciousness and step into our thriving. And by doing that, we radiate that energy out to all parts of the world. And I believe that one day all of us will be able to thrive because of this. But it starts with us. It starts here. We cannot suffer enough to alleviate someone else's suffering. Just like I can't get sick enough to get rid of your illness, right? But what I can do is I can thrive, and then I have more resources to share with you. I have energy that impacts you. There are so many possibilities for thriving for all of us. But until we take responsibility for our thriving, we can't expect anyone else in any other part of the world to thrive either, because we're not owning what we're here to do. All human beings are made to thrive, all of us. And we have a privilege and a responsibility, being in the Western world, to start carrying that energy in a more full sense so that we can radiate that energy and then use our abundance to support those who are not in a place of thriving. And I really feel like it has to come from a place of empowerment. We can throw food and we can throw money at people, but we know that doesn't work. We've been doing that for a long, long time. What we need to do is empower people, access that part of them, their soul, that knows that they're here to thrive, and support them in their empowerment. And we can't do it for everyone, but we can do it for ourselves right here, right now. We can make choices in every moment to thrive and extend that abundance and thriving energy to others. We can make a conscious effort when we go out energetically into the world and we're interacting with people to send them abundance and loving thoughts. We can begin to shift our entire worldview and the entire experience of the planet by shifting ourselves. But we have to take responsibility for it. So it's easy to buy into overwhelmment or feeling like there's nothing I can do, and that's bullshit, straight up bullshit. We each have a responsibility, and I just want to encourage you, if you're feeling the resonance of this message, to take even greater responsibility today for your thriving, to not let anyone or anything be an excuse for you not to have the best life experience that you can have in this moment. And depending where we're at in our life experience, that may look differently, but we still each have a choice, depending on where we're at right now, to thrive. So I want to encourage you to make a choice today to thrive. Make one choice today to do something abundant, to live abundantly, to really step into your thriving, whatever that looks like. It can be extravagant, it cannot be extravagant. It can be microcredit lending, it can be taking a bubble bath. Whatever it is that you feel called to, only you know what thriving looks like for you, and only you know the steps that you need to take to really claim that. But know this, in every moment that you claim you're thriving and you take steps to thrive and you take your personal responsibility to thrive, you don't just benefit. Everyone who interacts with you benefits. You have the power to not only change your life, but change the lives of those around you and change the outcome and the shifting of the collective consciousness. Do you feel me on that? It's real and it's big and it's really exciting, because we're living in a time now where we are all really coming together, and the more of us that thrive, the more of the world that can come with us. We are raising that vibration for the planet. So again, as I said in the intro of this video, if this message resonates with you, then I might be someone you want to play with. So I have groups, I have opportunities to share in so many different ways. I have my novels to inspire. There's so many different ways that we can shine our light and share together. So if you feel called, check out heatherstrang.com. Leave a comment below about how you're going to thrive today and how you want to impact others in your thriving. And thank you so much for listening, and I hope that this inspires you further on your thriving path, knowing that you really deserve to live abundantly. We all do. Thank you so much. Much love to you. Mwah.